Hi, everyone. My name is Mahadeo Sukhai. I'm the Chief Operating Officer and co-founder of IdeaSTEM. I want to talk to you today about flowers. Imagine two gardens in springtime. In one, every flower fights for sunlight, steals resources from the others, and is concerned only about its survival. In the other, each bloom makes space for the next, shares resources, and ensures that all are thriving. Which would you rather be a part of? The first garden is a field of dandelions, a carpet of conformity in yellow and green. No other color is possible until the end of the dandelion life cycle. Beautiful in its own way, but each flower lives in splendid isolation. None gets very big or tall, and each one is competing for resources and stealing nutrients from the soil. And they spread on the puff of wind. After all, dandelions are weeds. The second garden has a row of hibiscus bushes. Each bush has flowers of different colors, a riotous mix of whites and yellows and oranges and pinks and reds and purples. Each bush stands tall with tens and scores of flowers blooming. Each flower blooms, thrives, and ultimately dies as a unit. The petals folding open and shut in concert. These flowers and bushes that bear them are cultivated. They survive even when the grass around them is starved for water and nutrients because of a drought. The dandelion may seem cheerful at first glance, but it serves as a powerful metaphor for unchecked toxicity in team culture. Dandelions have superficial unity. The many small petals of the dandelion give the illusion of cohesion, but they are loosely attached, easily displaced, easily forgotten. Dandelions spread rapidly. As they mature, a dandelion disperses its seeds indiscriminately. Like workplace toxicity, harmful behaviors will multiply quickly and take root in unexpected places. Dandelions steal nutrients, you know. They deplete the soil. They undermine the growth of other plants. Toxic teams, similarly, drain emotional energy, suppress creativity, and stunt collective progress. The dandelion has no growth in structure. It doesn't significantly grow or evolve as a plant over its lifespan. Its life cycle is short, it's repetitive, and it's a weed. It's invasive. Dandelion prizes pervasiveness over depth. Its strength lies in domination, in spreading, in overwhelming, but not in depth of connection. It multiplies, but it does not deepen. The dandelion reminds us what happens when harmful practices are normalized, ignored, or left unaddressed. They spread, they embed, and ultimately, eventually crowd out anything that tries to thrive beside them. The hibiscus flower is not only visually striking, it is a biologically resilient plant, cooperative, and deeply symbolic of the potential within inclusive teams. It offers a powerful metaphor for how intentional team design, rooted, see what I did there, in shared values and collective care, can create environments where everyone thrives. For example, think about the petals of a hibiscus. Each petal is a person on the team. They are distinct, yet interconnected at the core of the flower. They form a cohesive structure that relies on mutual support and balance. That stamen in the center of the flower is the structure. The central stem represents the organization or its leadership, not towering over the petals. If you imagine the hibiscus, the petals and the stamen are at roughly the same height as one another, but integrated and essential to the bloom. It supports without overshadowing. Sunlight represents opportunity. The hibiscus blooms in the morning, symbolizing how inclusive teams will flourish in the right environment, in the presence of transparency, warmth, and shared purpose. At the end of the day, the hibiscus closes as a single flower. It doesn't shed petals, and it doesn't die in pieces. The flower itself collapses in on itself. That's how the hibiscus actually dies. As the hibiscus closes together, we can use that as a reminder that pauses, rest, and reflection are collective acts and not individual burdens. A hibiscus flower dies cohesively. Even in its final stage, the hibiscus does not shed its petals, as I said. The entire blossom, the bloom of that flower, will fall off the tree as an intact flower, signaling unity, loyalty, and mutual care through every season of a team's life cycle. The hibiscus invites us to imagine team environments where people are held and supported and valued from start to finish, with no one left behind. As we nurture inclusive teams, we face a choice. Will we foster the intentional, cohesive growth of the hibiscus, where structure and support lead to collective blooming, or will we enable the rapid toxic spread of the dandelion, where harm multiplies and chokes out potential? Using the hibiscus and dandelion as a metaphor, let's imagine for a moment what sets inclusive teams apart. The inclusive team, or the hibiscus, is built through intentional relationality. A traditional team, or a dandelion, is assembled based on hierarchy and fit. Inclusive teams are led through vulnerability and collaboration. Traditional teams are directive and top-down. Inclusive teams have a culture that is co-designed, adaptive, and values-driven. Traditional teams have cultures that are defaulted, rigid, and goal-driven. Inclusive teams communicate in ways that are grounded in shared metaphors and in emotional resonance. Traditional teams use corporate jargon and deliverable first means to communicate. Inclusive teams consider time as flexible and relational. Traditional teams are rigid, linear, urgency-driven. Inclusive teams operationalize inclusion through structure, care, language. Traditional teams assume inclusion via policy. Our hibiscus metaphor is an incredibly rich symbol of inclusive teams. This model counters the dandelion, or the toxic survival-based teams model, which emphasizes superficial cohesion, individual survival, and unchecked spread of harm. The inclusive teams model that we are developing is grounded in the biology of belonging, where structure is supportive, growth is collaborative, and the full bloom is a shared achievement. Let us choose our metaphors and our models wisely. Thank you.